Thank you so much, Attorney General Ellison. If you have a question or comment, let's see, text 313-597-0291, 313-597-0291. Let me go ahead and fire the first question here. And the first question, Mr. Ellison, comes from Robert Weiner. He's a former White House spokesman, served on the senior staff for the late Congressman John Conyers. He's right up there. I'm going to read his question. He said, Keith, as a PuLSE National Advisory Board member and a former John Conyers staffer and lifetime friend, and you remember Congressman Conyers was dedicated to fighting police brutality. I'm totally impressed with how you, as state AG, took over the Derek Chauvin George Floyd case when local prosecutors waffled and delayed. Is what you did a model that could be applied to many of the police killings of African Americans around the country? And if so, are you setting up any kind of network to assist and encourage other state attorney generals in doing this?
Yes, we are. We're working on trying to share what we learned. But we learned a lot of things. One is that, did you notice all the police officers who testified at our trial? Police officers who came in and said, that's wrong. We don't do that. From the chief on down. What we learned is that there's a lot of people in the Minneapolis Police Department who don't like that thumper tough guy nonsense. So that's something, how to cultivate a police officer witness to say, actually, I want another kind of department to work in. I think a lot of people think that all the cops agree with that. No, they don't. Let me tell you a little story. There's a woman named Cariol Horn, C-A-R-O-I, Cariol, C-A-R-I-O-L. And she was a police officer in Buffalo, New York. And one day she was on an arrest and one of her colleagues, Caucasian gentleman or person, I don't think he was being a gentleman at the time, was beating the crap out of this black suspect. She says, hey, dude, what are you doing? That's not necessary. He punches her. And then you would think, oh, good, she intervened. She might have saved this dude's life. She probably got a commendation, right? Oh, no. She got a condemnation and she ended up losing her pension, had to go to court to get it back. And it took her 15 years. If that's the culture, then good officers like Cariol Horn who joined the force to help people in their toughest time. What is it like for them? You talk to a lot of black cops, they're like, man, y'all think that these bunch of bullies are only racist to you? They're racist to us. Rondo, Madera and Arredondo is the chief of police in the city of Minneapolis. He sued the former head of the police union for racial discrimination when he was a lower level officer. Think about that. We need to get in contact with black officers to say, look, you joined the force because you didn't want nobody breaking in your mama's back. You know, you didn't want you wanted to live in a safe community. You wanted to be a help. Let's build on that. And then, you know, let's create a safe environment where they will say, we will not tolerate that amongst us. And I'm gonna tell you, as a lawyer, if I find out somebody is managing a trust and they're stealing from their client, man, I'm gonna bust them so fast, their head's gonna spin. You better not let me find out that you're cheating your client. If you're a doctor, they'll testify against each other, but there's been this culture in policing where it's like, don't say anything. Even if your guy did the wrong thing, don't say anything. We got to break that culture. And let me tell you who's going to be among the happiest when we do. Good cops. Next question.
Yeah, the George Floyd case is being hailed as one of the most important racial justice cases of the 21st century. How important was it for you to succeed in this prosecution? Was this a make or break for you?
I wouldn't say it was a make or break for me. It was never about me.
But as Attorney General,
main thing, but I took myself out of it, right? If I was a wise political person, if I actually was a smart political operative, I never would have taken this case. I could have turned it down. If I was smart, I'd have said, I don't want nothing to do with that, because if we don't win, people might blame me. I might not be able to be whatever job. But the advantage that I have is I don't give a crap about titles, and I'm not very ambitious. You think I go to bed at night dreaming to be the governor? I do not. You think I go to bed at night dreaming to be some other job? I don't.
You wouldn't be
I'm
on
a
a
happy man.
you wouldn't be on a presidential ticket someday?
If I am, I am. I don't think about it. I don't worry
Okay.
about it. Let me
Right.
tell you, if I ever try to do that, I'm gonna be the guy saying stuff that ought to be said because I'm not calculating, how it's gonna look, right? I
Yeah.
just say stuff that I think is right.